What's the most twisted lie your mother told you about your father? Mom always said my father was a deadbeat who abandoned us the day I was born. Couldn't handle being a real man. She'd spit, her face twisting with disgust. Uncle Danny stepped up instead, teaching me baseball, helping with homework, becoming the father I thought I deserved. Mom would beam watching us together, constantly praising how Danny was twice the man my biological father ever was. But by high school, something felt wrong about their relationship. Lingering touches, shared glances, Danny's belongings scattered throughout our house like he lived there. The first crack appeared when I was 14, noticing Danny's work boots permanently stationed by our front door. Are you and Uncle Danny together? I asked Mom one evening. Her face went chalk white, then hardened into defensive anger. Danny's helping us survive while your real father does nothing. You should be grateful instead of asking stupid questions. But I'd seen how her hand lingered on his shoulder, heard their whispered conversations that died when I entered rooms. The second attack came during my junior year when I mentioned wanting to know more about my father. Why would you want to know about that monster? Mom's voice turned razor sharp. He's probably dead in a ditch somewhere, and good riddance. Danny nodded along, his jaw clenched tight. Your mom's right. Some people don't deserve to be parents. Their coordinated response felt rehearsed, like they'd discussed this scenario multiple times. The third escalation happened when I found my birth certificate and started asking specific questions about my father's full name and workplace. Mom exploded. Stop digging into the past. That man was violent and unpredictable. Danny saved us from him. Her hands shook as she spoke. Whether from rage or fear, I couldn't tell. Danny placed a protective arm around her shoulders. Some wounds are better left alone, kid. The fourth assault on truth came when I turned 18 and announced I was going to search for my father myself. You're being incredibly selfish, Mom said, her voice dripping with disgust. After everything Danny's done for you, this is how you repay him? By chasing after a man who never wanted you? Danny's face darkened. If you do this, you'll destroy your mother. Is that what you want? Their guilt trip felt calculated, designed to make me feel like a monster for wanting answers. The fifth wave of manipulation hit when I moved out for college but kept researching. Mom called me sobbing. You're tearing this family apart. Your father was a dangerous man who threatened to hurt us. Danny risked everything to protect you, and now you're spitting in his face. Each conversation became more desperate, more vicious, and attacking my character for daring to question their version of events. The sixth betrayal came through a family friend who accidentally mentioned seeing my father around town recently. When I confronted Mom, she went nuclear. That's impossible. He moved far away years ago. Stop listening to gossip and rumors. But her panic was obvious now. Darting eyes, fidgeting hands, the way she immediately called Danny after I left. The seventh and final insult happened when I discovered my father's actual location through public records. If you contact him, don't bother coming back here, Mom said, her voice cold as winter. Danny and I won't enable your fantasy about some fairy tale reunion with a man who abandoned you. Danny stood behind her, arms crossed, nodding grimly. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. Their certainty was absolute. Their contempt for my father and now for me filled every word. They spoke like people who knew they held all the cards, like I was a naive child chasing impossible dreams. When I walked into that mechanic shop and told the graying man with my nose and stubborn cowlick who I was, he grabbed at the counter to steady himself. You need to sit down, he whispered, tears already forming. Your mom told me you died in a car accident when you were 5. I've been visiting your grave for 13 years. My world stopped spinning. She'd sent him fake death certificates, fake obituaries, even a cemetery plot address where he'd brought flowers every birthday, talking to a son he thought was dead. Dad showed me the shoebox of birthday cards written to a ghost, Christmas presents meant for a dead child, letters pouring out 18 years of love and regret. The fake death documents had Danny's signature as a witness. I never returned to Mom's house. When she called screaming about my betrayal, I simply said, I know about the fake grave. The silence stretched for 30 seconds before she hung up. Danny lost his construction job when word spread about the deception. Small towns don't forgive easily. Mom had to sell the house and move 2 states away when neighbors started crossing the street to avoid her. My father and I meet every Sunday now, making up for lost time while they live with the consequences of their cruelty.